Good. Well, hey everybody, welcome to a special episode of the Marketing Checklist ViewCast. We're Sharon and Hank Yuloff from Yuloff Creative Marketing Solutions. When you're looking to solve your sales, your marketing, your HR challenges, we are the small business coaches that you call. That's usually our introduction, and then we go right into interviewing our guest. We want to give you a special episode today. Sharon and I got 3 different phishing, spamming, bad for you emails that could really ruin your day. And we thought, if we're getting them, everyone's getting them. So we've introduced or asked a special friend of ours, Ty Romstadt, who owns Razz Professional Services, that's razzpro.com, to come on. He's got 13 years in the IT business, and in the last 7, they have focused much more on cybersecurity and full management. And if someone's going to give us some great answers, let me tell you, Ty is the guy that you want to hear from. They serve small business owners from 10 to 100 employees, Ty?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. They work with a lot of creative agencies, construction type companies, smaller medical, law offices, a whole wide gamut, probably just like yours. So Ty, here's what I want to do. I want Sharon to pop up the emails that we got, and I want to ask you about them. And I've got a few questions, and after that I want to talk about some of the saves you've made for some clients, because
let's do it.
Those are just like horror stories. So Sharon's going to pull this up. Okay, so, all right, wait till we see it there. All right, so we got this email. We own the URL Small Business Marketing Specialist. It's on a redirect. It forwards to our website. We've owned it for several years. So I got these 2 emails, one right after another. One is giving us the story. I used to own the URL, and now I've lost connection with, what is that? GoDaddy, blah, blah, blah. We've gotten this before. And they're saying, I've sent you another email with a link or with a code, and all you have to do is enter the code, and we'll be able to get our account back. Here's what this really does. The email on the right is from a real company called Afternic. It's where you can sell your URLs. Totally legitimate company. These other folks are using Afternic to go buy. They're saying they want to buy our email, our URL. In fact, these are 2 different URLs. The best marketing tool was one, and the other one was there. We've gotten these a bunch of times. Now, if we had put the code in, Ty, if I had clicked on that link and put the code in, they'd own our URL, wouldn't they?
Correct. Yeah. There's a lot of these kinds of attempts out there where people are just trying to pull a fast one on you and just get you to click. So everybody's got to slow down and think very, very carefully, on whether or not these emails are from a trusted source.
So most of the time, you said slow down. Is it a lot of the time this happens because someone's just going through their emails real quick?
Yeah, 100% true. I mean, typically, end of the day, Friday, somebody's had a long week, and they're not thinking, they want to get to the weekend, and they don't look carefully, either at the email address header, who it actually came from, or maybe they just take a quick glance and they're like, oh, I know, yeah, this looks legit, and I want to get on to my weekend. So yeah, everybody just needs to slow down and really think twice about whether it's clicking on links or responding and giving up potentially sensitive information.
So Sharon, you got the other emails talking about not checking the email right. So what happened with the one you got or you saw?
Well, so it wasn't actually sent to us. It was sent to one of our clients. And oddly enough, they had the wrong name, right? They had a name of one client, and they sent the email to a different client, and they called her by the wrong name. but you can see that they changed the email address. So they said, oh, oops, don't send the funds that we asked you to send, that we actually did ask her to send. Don't send it there. We've had an issue. Send it here instead. And if she had done that, she would have paid that other people. Luckily, she was smart enough to go, is this you? Did you really send this? Here, I'll show you what the email is.
So does that mean we should change the passwords on our email?
Now, I mean, this is a spoofing scam. So changing the passwords on your email wouldn't help with this. Somebody knew that you guys were out there and in some way were affiliated with these people. And that's common because there's a lot of info on the internet. And, we all, we post reviews. We have reviews from our clients. So people can find out who you work with very easily. So, I mean, in this case, changing your email account wouldn't have done any good. It's another case of people needing to understand the way that you guys work and process payments, and have I would recommend to companies having a very standardized way to accept payments and conveying that information, to the people you work with.
So what's interesting and what you folks that are listening should pay attention to is see that they changed our email, right? It's usually info@yuloff.creative, but they changed it just enough. So if she hadn't been paying attention, they sent it to Mary, but they called her FICA. Now they did a great job of copying our email signature.
Yeah.
That is my standard email signature. So
yeah, in your case, there were a lot of mistakes here, but I do want to warn people too that a lot of these attempts are getting a lot more creative and a lot better, where they'll do their due diligence and they'll figure out exactly who it is you work with, and they'll get all that info right. And the only thing that's going to be changed, sometimes it's one letter in the URL that they change at the top. And so if you're not looking carefully, it's very easy for almost anyone to fall for that.
Yeah,
I almost did with our accountant. Same kind of thing. I got an email from supposedly our accountant saying, hey, the email our payment process got changed. We're having an issue. Send it here instead. Luckily, I forwarded that email to the accountant and said, hey, this seems a little odd that you would have this. And they went, yeah, that's not our email. The email we use for our billing. The email we use for our billing is this. So yeah, I'm glad you didn't send it there.
So this is a matter of when, not if, right? It's kind of like an earthquake in Southern California. It's coming. You're all going to get spoofed at some point. You're all going to have to deal with it. Is that right?
Yeah, and everyone from the grandma to all the way to the enterprise business, like everyone who has money in a bank account today is a target. So, and in terms of frequency, it's happening every single minute.
Good God.
As long as people are making money off of this, they'll continue sending it out and trying to get more.
So, assuming that one answer is pay attention, what are some of the keys to look for? Like, freaking pay attention. And tell your employees, freaking pay attention.
Yeah. Awareness is the biggest key. Is like, always assume scam. Like, have that at the top of your mind of like, when you're looking through things like, okay, first I'm going to think this is suspicious. Something's a little off. Like you mentioned, you see any one thing off, then just start to double check everything. But always go on the assumption of scam when it comes to things, through that you were solicited, kind of unsolicited, I will say. Somebody sends you something and maybe you weren't expecting it, or even if you were, in your case, I mean, that really was your situation. That person was actually expecting payment instructions. Just, look for anything that looks a little bit off. But I would also encourage everybody to educate yourself in cybersecurity a little bit. Spend a little time, learning more about a lot of these different techniques that bad actors are using, so you know how to defend yourself better.
So you do a cybersecurity tip of the week, right?
Correct. Yeah, we offer that to anybody who wants to sign up. It's a free tip of the week. They're really great tips. It will teach you. Yeah.
So just for y'all that are watching, that'll be in the notes with this video. Okay. So that URL will be there. You can trust that URL, or go to RazzPro, RazzPro.com. And I'm pretty sure you can sign up there as well.
Yes, correct.
So if you want to do it the secure way, go to RazzPro.com and look for it. Or just click the link. Nothing will happen. Oh man, it's disheartening. So what happens if someone isn't paying attention and clicks on this link, or what, or in this case, what if I had sent them the information they need?
There's a number of things that can occur because of that. I mean, somebody can get ransomware, which we all kind of see on the news and things about ransomware happening all the time. And that's just ways that people encrypt your files and they ask for a payment in order to unlock them for you. Um, and sometimes you make the payment and they don't even have the tools to unlock them. So just be aware of that. A lot of times people just never get their data back. Service disruptions can happen. You can, in terms of like the things that your business need to run every day and your employees, like things can go down if you click on a link. A good example of that is we know of a law office that somebody clicked on a link that came in randomly. And unfortunately for that organization, this was not a client of ours, but somebody we knew told the story. When they clicked on this link, that person happened to be an admin for Microsoft for their email accounts. And that link spun up a script. And that script essentially started spitting out hundreds of thousands of emails to random recipients trying to spoof them or scam them. And so Microsoft saw that and they shut down the domain. And it took this company that's a pretty good sized law office a whole week to get their domain back up. And so if you can imagine the financial loss that incurs when something like that happens just because somebody clicked on a bad link.
So have you had some data saves like that for clients?
Yeah, well, a number of the stuff that we've had saves on are more in the recovery side of things. When somebody has accidentally installed something that may have caused their computer to go down, like we had a client who tried to do a RAID update. He was a business owner on his computer, and his entire computer, like everything was gone from the drive.
Wait a minute. What's a RAID update?
Right. So this particular client had a high-speed SSD RAID so that he could have really good performance. So it's basically where you take two drives and kind of stripe them so that data writes to either drive sequentially. So you just get faster performance.
Do you understand that? Okay, good.
Yeah, we had that in the financial services.
Okay, at least one of us does. Okay.
So when this update ran, the RAID broke and all the data was gone. And this was hundreds and hundreds of gigs of data. He was the owner of the business. And luckily we had an auto or from events like that. And the same thing with ransomware. Like if you have the proper pieces in place, like if there's a ransomware event, you will suffer downtime. But if you have proper backups that are what we call air gapped, they're basically systems that are backed up, but then there's also an offline backup that the two only can communicate with each other. Then you're going to be able to get your data back. And so that's a lot of situations we've been able to have really good success with are those. We've also had some really good saves with clients when it just comes to saving them money, because a lot of times, because IT is so complicated. Like most business owners think they understand what's going on and what's happening in their environment, but they truly don't. If you have a professional come in and do an assessment and they look things over and they can see there's a lot of redundancy happening, there's a lot of waste happening. And so we've been able to save clients hundreds to thousands of dollars a year in recurring costs just by looking at what they have going on.
So it looks like some people ought to reach out to you. So thanks for being on with us, Ty. If they want to reach out to you for that conversation, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity. I'll have you put a link in there, but we have a really good link for a better overview of who we are and what we do for our clients. So click on that link. On there, we have a free offer for a cybersecurity risk assessment and an IT systems checkup. That is for qualified businesses. So you do need to be at least 5 employees or more to qualify for that. If you're looking for help.
Well, let's see, there's us and our 4 cats, but our 4 cats are not users. Damn.
So 5 or under, I will just give you some tips too. 5 or under, sign up for the cybersecurity tip of the week. It is going to help you. And there are a lot of consultants. So I started out as an individual consultant, and I did that for many years. And I helped a lot of smaller businesses and residential clients, and there are a lot of consultants out there too for smaller size individuals. So that would be my recommendation if you're very small, is reach out to an individual consultant.
Cool. So all that information will be in the notes. Thanks everybody for watching. Be safe. What was it from Hill Street Blues? Be safe out there. That's really important. That just dated me. Hill Street Blues was a television show in the 70s. Yeah, a while ago. Anyway, and if you want some help with your security, talk to Ty. If you want your own marketing review, if you want 30 minutes of help to look at where your marketing is going, reach out to us. Go to howtogettherefaster.com for your business success call. Anything else we want to share today other than our slogan?
I don't think so.
Cool. Remember, everybody, what is our slogan? Wait, I lost it. It's been sucked out of my head. If everything happens for a reason,
Be the reason things happen.
see you next time, everybody, on the Marketing Checklist.
Thank you.